ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं वादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। वर्ष नंबर 407। अनन्यत्वम् अधिष्ठानात् आरोप्यस्य निरीक्षितम् पंडितैः रज्जुसर्पादौ विकल्पो भ्रांति जीवनः। I repeat again. अनन्यत्वम् अधिष्ठानात् आरोप्यस्य निरीक्षितम् पंडितैः रज्जुसर्पादौ विकल्पो भ्रांति जीवनः। The translation is, the wise have observed that the supreme position is identical with its substrate, just like the rope and the snake. The distinction exists only due to delusion. See the translation again. That which is superimposed upon something else is observed by the wise to be identical with the substrate, as in the case of the rope appearing as the snake. The apparent difference depends solely on the delusion. Now we are entering a new topic, next level. The topic is Atma Vichar, self-inquiry. Inquiry into self. And everyone can inquire it. Here Upanishads do not address a particular geographical area or particular time or particular race, a particular caste, a particular any creation. Upanishads are addressing to humanity. Whoever is qualified, who has capacity, ability to inquire, who have to fulfill its requirements, whoever can listen, scriptures are for them. We are studying Atma Vichar. In previous verse, Shankaracharya said, Maya matram idam dvaitam advaitam paramarthata. He said, here is only Brahman, the all phenomenon is just appearance, nothing else. So now he is describing Ananyatvam adhishtanat aropyasya nirikshitam. Inquiry into the self. Here is two words. One is superimposed and another is substratum. And the world, the phenomenon, the universe, anyone can experience. It is a common. The world, the universe is for everyone. Every creature, animals, human beings, gods, everyone has a right to experience the world. No qualification is required. You are in the world, this qualification is enough. But the next level is only for wise person. The next level is qualified seeker. Only they can enter in this realm of the reality. So just appearance of anything as a universe, as a world, is not sufficient reason to prove that it is true. Just appearance is not proof to its existence. If you inquire, so when after inquiring, having done investigation, having done examination, then whatever will come, then you accept. It is a reality. So you have to inquire properly. Whatever you are experiencing, it is true or not. And only human being has this capacity. The animals does not have the capacity. The words don't have that capacity. The only human beings has that capacity to inquire. So this reality is not absolute. The reality of the universe, the reality of the phenomenon, the world, objects, it appears. It appears for some time, it is not forever. So you inquire deeply. You will come to know that the substratum of the world is truth. The world is superimposed upon that reality. And if you inquire properly, the worldly existence cannot influence to you. Here, he is giving an example, very classical Vedantic example. You may have heard so many times, snake and rope. Today, I am giving one more example. The example is like this. in your clothes, when we wash, there happens so many wrinkles, and then we iron it. In our clothes, there are many wrinkles, creases, different shapes. They all wrinkles are where in the clothes. They appears, and when you iron it, they disappear. When you iron it, where have they gone? And you think from where they have come. Their coming and their going had no reason. But they appear. And because of that wrinkles, your clothes will not get any weight. If there are wrinkles, suppose your cloth is 50 grams, and there are many wrinkles. Your cloth is full of wrinkles, and you weight it. Weight is the same. Because of wrinkles, there is no difference in weight. And when you iron it, all wrinkles will go. And you wait again. Your cloth weight is the same. So because of that wrinkles, nothing is happening on your clothes. Wrinkles comes and goes. It makes no difference to your clothes, but they appears. And they are not different from the clothes. They are not different from your clothes. Annattam adhisthana aropyasya nirikshitam. The word is adhishthan. Adhishthan means like here is cloth. Your cloth is like adhishthan, substratum. Aropyas means your wrinkles. They are arop, superimposed appearance. He says, if you look at deeply, you will find the wrinkles are not different from the clothes. Here he has given the example, Rajju Sarpadav. Rajju Sarpadav. The snake, the imaginary snake, which is imposed in the snake, in the rope, this particular snake has no entity, has no existence apart from the rope. You cannot make separation. This the rope and this the snake. No. He says, Ananyatam, there is no difference. They are one. And one reality is rope. Snake is imaginary. Ananyatam adhisthana aropyasya nirikshitam panditai rajju sarpadav vikalpo bhranti jivana. And one here very beautiful word he has used. This is bhranti jivana. Like for our life, we eat food, we drink water, we take breath. This is our life. Without food, without water, without air, we cannot live. This is our life. For some time you can live without food. and lesser time you can live without water, and more lesser time you can live without air. But they are must for our life. So we can say that our life is because of water, air, and food. Same, the universe, the world, what is its life? Its life is Bhranti. The world exists because of delusion. The universe is because of ignorance. Ignorance is there, world is beautiful. So existence of the world is because of ignorance. He says, Bhranti Jivana. And there are misconceptions that the people think Shankaracharya is absolutely denying the world. There is no world, mithya, illusory, maya. But you read properly Shankaracharya, you will find that he did not devaluate the world by saying the world is mithya, unreal. Indeed, he did true valuation of the world by describing world as a Brahman. World is not different from the Brahman. The world is Brahman. He's not saying the world is not there. He's saying world is Brahman. The universe is Brahman. In our scriptures, I remember there is a very, very beautiful verse, a mantra, a slok, very beautiful. Mantra is like this: Harirev jagat jagadev hari, harito jagato ne bhinna tanu, yati yasya mati parmartha gati sanaro bhavasagar muttarati. I translate it. The mantra says, the God is the world. The world is the God. The world and God are not separate. The one who has such understanding, that person only liberates. So world and God is not different. But as a world, it is a mithya. As a God, it is a Brahman. Now next one. Chitta mulo vikalpoyam chitta bhave na kasyana ataschittam samadhehi pratyak rupe paratmani. I repeat again. Chitta mulo vikalpoyam chitta bhave na kasyana ataschittam samadhehi pratyak rupe paratmani. The translation is, the apparent universe has its root in the mind and cannot exist in the absence of the mind. Therefore, concentrate the mind by fixing it on Supreme Self, the inmost principle. See the again translation. This apparent universe has its root in the mind and never persists after the mind is annihilated. Therefore, dissolution the mind by concentrating it in the Supreme Self, which is our inmost essence. Chitta mulo vikalpoyam. He says, what is the root cause of the world? What is the cause of the world? What the cause of universe? This is the basic question. And there are many theories, there are many doctrines, there are many philosophies they are giving its answer. Some says world is created by Brahma. Some says world is created by some other god. Some says world is created by other entity. If you believe in the God, then you believe that your God has created the world. We are God believers. So according to our own concept, we accept that, we admit that the God, the creator of the world is my God. According to my concept, I believe in Brahma, then I say Brahma is the creator. If someone believes in other God, he will say creator is that God. So there are so many philosophies. And some people who don't have belief in God, atheist, non-believer of the God, they also have their philosophy. They say there is no any creator of the world, no Brahma, no any cosmic consciousness. It is happening itself by time. There is an evolution. By time it happens. No creators. Nature. It is happening. It takes birth and dies. No creators. So there are so many philosophies, so many regions, so many logics. Every philosophy has its own logic. You may be right, or other may be right or wrong, but no one can prove it to others. How can you prove? There is no any universal agreement. This is the cause of the world. According to my concept, I will say the creator is such and such. According to your concept, you will say the creator of the world is such and such. And the material person will say there is no creator. It is happening automatically itself. So here, no one has guarantee that its philosophy is 100% correct. In this verse, see the approach of Shankaracharya. He says, Chittamulo Vikalpoyam. He's here saying that, and no one can refute it. No one can refute it. You believe God, you don't believe God. But the philosophy of the Sankaras in this verse, no one can refute. Because he's saying, Chittamulo Vikalpoyam. Ayam Vikalpa, this universe is because of mind. He's not saying the creator is in the seven heaven, in the Brahmalok, here and there, and he created the world. No. One thing he is saying, Chittamulo Vikalpoyam, the cause of the universe is your mind. This universe is because of mind. The point is mind. And you have to be agree. Chitta bhavena kassana is giving a logic. It's giving very, very beautiful logic. It is saying, if there is no chit, no mind, then you will not find the world. If there is no mind, you will not find anywhere the world. So the point is the mind. If mind is there, world exists. If there is absence of the mind, the world does not exist. So the world is mind-oriented. Only mind is the proof there is a world. If mind does not work, he says chitta bhave. If mind does not work, you will not have any existence of the world. So mind is the most important thing. Chitta bhave. Now, we have to think some about chit. The mind has four ways of its expression. Mind expresses itself through four types. One is mind. Mind means confusion, conflict, intellect, conviction, chit, the storehouse, and finally ego. This is mind. So, I, ego means I. So mind is one. Mind means conflict. I am confused. This is the ego. I have decided, intellect. I have memory, chit. I is everywhere. And these four are on the inner instrument. See, inner instrument is in four kinds. So all world is because of mind. Shankaracharya says, and I think everyone is agree. Without mind, there is no world. In Susupti, in deep sleep, there is no words. Ignorance is there. But without inner instrument, without mind, the ignorance cannot do anything. Ignorance requires the mind. In deep sleep, there is ignorance, illusion. But mind is not there. Because without mind, ignorance cannot do anything. Chitta bhave na kassana. He says, without chit, there is nothing world. Now see. If there is a world, there is a misery. All misery is because of the world. And we are trying to solve every misery, every problem, but we are not able. We could not make successful it. We solve one problem, 10 problems are waiting. They are ready to come. No one has solved all problems. Shankaracharya says, the one solution is enough for all problems. Very beautiful solution. He says, Ata chittam samadhehi pratyak rupe paratmani. He is advising to the seekers. Ata chittam samadhehi. Do not think about the world. Don't think who did make it. Why did he make it? Live in the world. But do not let the world live in you. If you are hungry, eat food. Do not think about the food. Thinking will not make any fruitful results. It makes no point. He says, the solution is you fix your mind into self. In Gita, Lord Sri Krishna says, O Arjun, you fight. You fight. But your mind keep to me. Mayeva manadhatsva may buddhim nivesha. Sri Krishna says, fix your mind on me alone. And surrender your intellect to me. Then do whatever you want. Whatever your duty in worldly labor, you do. But your mind, your intellect, you give to me. Then all problems will end. Problems are not because of the world. They are in the mind. And even mind is also not problem. The problem is we have fixed our mind wrong place. Just change the place. All will be perfect. God is source of happiness. See what is happening here with us. God is source of happiness. And who is far away somewhere? We do not know where he is, where God is. God is source of happiness. And world is available, which is cause for miseries. We want something which is somewhere else with God, and we are searching in the world. So Shankaracharya says, you fix your mind where pratyak rupe paratmani. Very important thing he is saying when you start your meditation, when you start this journey, and there are so many meditators who will say to you, you meditate anywhere, or any object you can take for your meditation, for your concentration. Shankaracharya says, no. You cannot take any object, because mind and matter both has same natures. Mind and matter both have same nature. Automatically, mind will run towards object. And without meditation, we are obsessed with the matter. This is the problem. In meditation also, we are trying to meditate on object. So what we are going to do? Shankaracharya says no. This is not proper way. In your meditation, in very beginning, you can take an object, but this object should be divine, not bodily objects. You may have been told, you take in a meditation like a flower, sun, moon, sky, ocean. But he says no. In very beginning, your mind requires some objects. So give divine objects. God, any mantra, any story, any statue, whatever you want, actually you can take. But it should be divine, not worldly. And slowly, you reduce the size of the objects. Slowly, you reduce size of the objects. Automatically divine. The object divine will disappear. Only divine will remain there. Pratyak Rupa. He says, you fix your mind on the self, cosmic consciousness, on the God. All problems will be solved. Now, next one. Kimapi satata bodham kevalananda rupam nirupam matibelam nityamuktam niriham niravadhi gaganabham niskalam nirvikalpam radikalayat vidwan brahma purnam samadhau. I repeat. Kimapi satata bodham kevalananda rupam nirupam ativelam nityamuktam niriham niravadhi gaganabham niskalam nirvikalpam radikalayati vidwan brahma purnam samadhau. See the translation. Through samadhi, the wise realizes the infinite Brahman in the heart as something inexplicable of the essence of eternal knowledge and complete bliss, which is unparalleled, which is beyond all limitations, which is ever free, which has no activity, and which is indivisible and absolute like the limitless sky. I repeat again the translation. Listen very carefully. The wise one realizes in the heart through samadhi the infinite Brahman, which is something of the nature of eternal knowledge and absolute bliss, which has no exemplar, which transcends all limitations, is ever free and without activity, which is like the limitless sky, indivisible and absolute. In 3 verses, including this one, this line, Hradi Kalayati Vidwan Brahma Purnam Samadhi, will be repeated. Very important. He's saying, when a seeker, he says Vidwan, person 1 realizes in his heart through samadhi the infinite Brahman. This sentence will come again and again in 3 verses because he is communicating with the seeker which is not communicable. See, we have 4 states: waking, dreaming, deep sleep, and fourth. Previous 2 states are for the world. Waking state, dream state is for the world. Third one is no use, nowhere. But fourth one is for the self. As we discussed, mind and matter both are same nature. So mind goes in the matter by nature. But connecting mind in the self, it needs intelligence. The wise man should place his mind in the self. Here, Shankaracharya giving some advice. When we are in meditation and there may be some imaginations. I saw this picture in my imagination. I watched this form of the God. I watched a flame of the light. There may be so many imaginations. That is why Shankaracharya is giving some definitions. Always you confirm with these meanings. Whatever you are watching is not matter. Always your experience should be matched with these definitions. He said, your mind fixed on the self. The question is, what is the self? He says, self is everywhere. But for your try, you concentrate in the heart. Heart is the temple of the divine, where you can realize. And once it is realization has happened, then it can be experienced everywhere. Now, in 3 verses, he's giving some definitions. I am giving some brief because we have known so many times. He says, what is self? First thing is Nitya Bodha. Nitya Bodha means unbroken knowledge. Unbroken knowledge. Eternal knowledge. The objective knowledge is not unbroken. It just comes and goes. When some objects comes in front of you, then knowledge comes. Without object, knowledge does not happen. So it is broken. The self-knowledge is unbroken. Next is Kevalananda. Kevalananda means nature of the pure bliss. Keval means only. Only bliss. No misery. Which is not with sadness. It means happiness is not worldly happiness. It is not dependent on the objects. That is why this is ultimate pursuit. Next one is Nirupam. Nirupam means no comparable, incomparable. For the self, there is no comparison. For comparison, at least two things are needed. But truth is one, so it means there is no comparison. Next one is Nitya Mukta. Nitya Mukta means ever free. It was free, it is free, it will be free. It was not boundaries. Even you are not aware, it is our essential nature. It is all been liberated. So liberation is its nature. Liberation is not to be achieved. Next is Niriham. Niriham means no desires, no activity, because it is complete. Nothing required. Next one is Niravadhi Gaganabham. It is boundaryless like sky. Sky has no boundary. So this soul is boundaryless like sky. Nishkalam. Nishkalam is without part. There is no, God is not assembled. God is not assembled. The world is with parts. Somewhere will be small part. The Himalaya has big parts. Atom has small parts. But every object has a part. God is without parts. Nirvikalpam, without option. In world, you have option. You have option even everything. You don't want something, you can remove it. And you can take another one. Even your body, if you don't want this one, you can take another one. But for soul, we don't have any option. Now next one. Prakriti Vikriti Shunyam Bhavanatita Bhavam Samarasa Samanam Manasa Sambaddha Duram Nigama Bachana Siddham Nityamaspat Prasiddham Radhi Kalayati Vidwan Brahma Purnam Samadham. I translate. Through Samadhi, the wise realizes the infinite Brahman in the heart as devoid of cause and effect, as the reality beyond all imagination, as homogeneous beyond all compare and proofs, established by the declarations of the scriptures as eternity self-established. See the translation again. Translation is must. The wise one realizes in his heart through Samadhi the infinite Brahman, which is devoid of idea of the cause and effect, which is reality beyond of all imaginations, homogeneous, matchless, beyond all range of proofs, established by the pronouncement of Vedas and ever familiar to us, the sense of ego. Now he is continue further. He is giving some more definitions. He is saying Prakriti Vikriti Shunya. Prakriti cause, Vikriti effect. This reality is neither cause nor effect. It is beyond of them. Actually, we always think in terms of cause and effects. Whatever we know, they all are cause or effect. We do not know anything which is without condition of cause and effect. But this soul is not cause, not effect. So this is not Brahma, not the world, not creator, not creation. Next is Bhavana Tit. Bhavana means imagination, logic. Logic. It is not under the logic. Maharishi Vyas says in his Brahma Sutra, Taraka Pratishthanat, you cannot receive the God, you cannot achieve the supreme reality through the logic. It is above from the logic. Asamarasam. Next one is which without changes. In previous, in past, right now, in future, always it is the same. It is untouched by the time. Asmaranam, incomparable. Asamanam, then man sambandha duram. Next one he is saying, man means praman, proof. We have so many proofs like Pratyaksh, Anuman, Upaman, Shakti. You cannot prove. It is beyond of the proofs. It is not Pratyaksh. You cannot see, you cannot touch, you cannot guess it above the Praman. But Nigama Vachana Siddham, it is established by the Vedas. Vedas, the mantras are Vedas. They say, Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, Tattvamasi. So there are so many mantras in Vedas, they have proof about this reality. And he is saying, Nityam Asmat Prasiddham. Very beautiful words. It is proved by Veda, but it is very near to you. You listen yourself. You listen to Veda and you listen to yourself also. You. Everywhere, I. What is I? I, the God. I, the supreme reality. Everywhere, I is the supreme reality. Nityam Asmat Prasiddham. Everywhere it is known as I. Now, last one. Adar Amaramasta Bhavvastu Sarupam Stam Mit Salil Rasi Prakhya Vihinam Samita Guna Vikaram Saswatam Santamekam Yadi Kalayati Vidwan Brahma Purnam Samadhav. See the translation. Through Samadhi, the wise realizes the infinite Brahman in the heart as undecaying and immortal as the positive entity beyond the negations, like a calm ocean which has no name, in which there are neither merit nor demerits, eternal, tranquil, and one. He's giving some more definitions. He's saying, Ajaram. He's not without old age. No decay. Amaram, beyond of death. and astabhavastu sarupam. Above the thought, it is beyond of the thought. It is, but it is not subject to thought. Next one is stamita. Stamita salir rasi. He is saying without name and form, like sea without waves. Sea is there but without waves, without ripples, quiet, calm. So it is like quiet sea. Samit guna vikaram, and this is the beyond of three gunas. Sattva, Raj and Tamas. These are three gunas. They cannot can affect any to the Supreme Self, and now he says Shashwata. It is always. It is not time bound. Time is imagined in these facts. This is not in time, always. And finally he says Ekam, it is one without second. So here he has given so many definitions because we have discussed so many times such definitions. That is why I have taken briefly. There are some descriptions of the reality where you have to fix your mind. When you are in meditation, examine yourself. You are right way or you are wrong way. You can examine these words you take with yourself. Always remember these definitions of the truth. Always remember the definition of the truth. And then whatever comes in your meditation, just match with the definition. If your object is correct, then you are right. Otherwise, there may be some imaginary thoughts and you have to remove these thoughts. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Vadarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.